Hey, welcome to Integrated Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. Sometime back, I made a video. I don't remember what the video was about, but I mentioned the possibility of bugging out. And I'm not a big bug out person, uh, but you need to have some places picked. You need to be able to do it. You need to be prepared. You need to have locations already decided on. And I need to know how to get there. So even though as with anybody, it's certainly not my first plan. I do have the plans for it, and somebody asked me to share them. So I guess I will. I'll start sharing a little bit. Um, One of the things that somebody asked, and I don't remember, I didn't go back and look at the video or try to find it, and I don't remember which one it was. Somebody asked the ethics of bugging out the public land. So I thought that'd be a good thing to address. First off, public land is an excellent place. If you don't have your own place to go to, if you don't have a dedicated bug out location, if you need someplace permanent, semi-permanent, whatever, there's a lot of public lands around you can go to. And my opinion on that, number one, is if you're a taxpayer, it belongs to you. You know, it doesn't. You're not encroaching on somebody else's land, whether it's federal land, state land, county land, city land. I don't care. If you are a citizen and a taxpayer, you've already paid your dues. You've paid your price of admission. You've already built that, supported it. So I don't see any problem, ethically or legally, in going in there if you need to. Secondly, of course, if the big one happened, like in my books, uh, who's going to chase you off? Who's going to tell you can't come in? Well, then it comes down to who's bigger, right? Who's able to take the position? Who's able to keep the position? And those are serious considerations. I don't mean to make light of that. You need to be able to go into a location and hold it. For that reason, it needs to be a well-considered location. It needs to be defensible. Um, I'm here, and this is the second thing. Maybe I'll wait until I talk about the second part of this. Um, there are other alternatives, and that is privately held land, but privately held by organizations. All over the place. There are scout camps and church camps and just all over the place. Uh, and if you belong to a group like that, and I would say that this would be as good a reason as any to belong to a group like that, then you, of course, should be able to feel free to go out and use a camp or an area that your dues have helped pay for. I wouldn't see why there would be any problem with that. I'm at a place now. This is our first ring of bug out locations in case we need to just scoot for a bit, or as the first hop to our permanent location. It's in a ring, as I mentioned in a previous one. I just shot another one about stocking up, so I don't know how long it's going to take after that one goes up that this one will go up. Excuse me. Uh, I kind of do it in rings. We got one about 10 miles out, and then another place farther, another place farther, another place farther. Places that I've already thought about, and here's where we want to go. I'm at a spot here. It's our first alternative location. If you don't want to call it a bug out location, I don't really talk in those terms a lot, but it describes it. Alternative location. Everybody that is in my group knows that if certain things happen and it looks like we need to get out, this is where we'll meet. This is where I'll be, and everybody who wants to get here can get here within a certain period of time. And it's a place that that we could stay for a short amount of time or a long amount of time. This is a camp that I came to, and I won't say who owns it now, but we have been out here camping. Um, I came out here when I was in Indian Guides, and that's like 1959, 1960, something like that, and it's still being used as a camp for different places. And my son and I, my family and I have been out here camping. It is a great place. You'll hear some traffic noises over to the well, I won't say what direction, but you'll hear some traffic noises. That's because we're not too far from a highway. It doesn't matter, because nobody in the world would find this place that doesn't know that it's here. And if they did and they wandered across it, then we'd handle that at the time. It has permanent structures. It has temporary structures. It has, let me say, it's got good permanent structures, and then it has kind of rough permanent structures. It's got a lot of flowing water. It has a good-sized pond. I'd put it right there on the cusp of pond to the lake size. That has got a lot of fish in it. People fish it all the time and do very well. It has open areas for growing if it was someplace you were going to stay for a while. It has a lot of, if you can see behind me, a lot of timber. It has uneven terrain, a very uneven terrain, which makes it easily defensible, as opposed to wide open fields and things like that. It's got great points for observation. It's got great points for choke points. It's got just about everything that I would look for in a temporary or even a permanent, to be honest, a permanent location. So anyway, those are my thoughts. I don't see any ethical or legal problems with using public lands for bugging out. You already paid for it. And if anybody if you show up and other people are there, hey, use your getting along skills, right? Now, if you run into the wrong kind of people, you're going to have to handle that. You should be able to handle that anyway, because self-defense is one of the very important parts of being prepared wherever you are, at home, traveling, whatever. If you can't defend yourself and where you are, or you got problems, far beyond the problems of picking a good location. And if you've already staked out a place and you get there first, which really is part of the package, if you're tuned in, you should know what's happening before everybody around you, and scoot your boots, get out there and load the truck, or if you're already loaded, whatever, and get out there. If it turns out that the next day everything's back to normal, good, you can go home. But getting to a place first is important. And so if you get to a place first, of course, you set your security and you get set up, and then if other people come up on you, okay, it could be good, could be bad, in which case take care of it, the bad. But it could be good. Other people can be good. They help. More hands and more people to stand watching, as long as, the leadership will shake itself out, right? It'll shake itself out. If you're a person who's put a lot of thought into this and you've got it all lined out and you ought to be the leader, okay, well then be the leader. If you're not, and there's nothing wrong with that, not everybody in the world can be a leader, right? If you're just somebody that's tuned in and says, oh, we got to go, and put the stuff in the Suburban and get out of here, and you show up and there's people out there that you see are a little more tuned up than you are, then good, pitch in, be part of the group, and everybody would be better for it. So anyway, those are my thoughts. It's not like going onto somebody else's private land, which I wouldn't, So find these places. They're all over the place. If you haven't thought about it, if you haven't been out there, take some day trips. Look on a map. Use Google Earth. See the lay of the land. See where the water sources are. Look at a topo map if you haven't been there. If If not, go out there and drive. The best thing to do is go there and take a look at it. And I'll throw in something else here. We're just about a mile from an alternative first location, maybe 2 miles, because redundancy, right? Because choices, right? Because if for whatever reason this isn't looking like the best choice at the time, I don't have to sit there and suck my thumb and think about, oh gosh, what should I do next? I know exactly what I'm doing next. So anyway, those are my thoughts on using public land for bugging out. You know, hope we never have to, right? But if we do, we ought to have an idea of what we're doing. So you all have a good day. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And living well tomorrow, if we're not where we want to be, you know, it depends on whether we've prepared our thoughts about where we're going. So you all have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.